understandable.
Coach, I know obviously not the outcome you guys wanted, but I mean, the journey to get here was remarkable. Just overall thoughts and feelings on today and the journey.
Oh, I'm happy for these guys. A lot of these guys believed in what we were trying to do since day one. And so for those guys who put themselves in a situation, I'm super proud of them. Obviously it didn't go our way today. That 4-0 score is not indicative of how we played today. We had some errors that normally we don't have. We just so I'll have to go back and look at the film and see what happened. I got a sense looking at the replays of what actually happened on the sideline, but there's more to that. So we got to figure out who was communicating, where our lack of communication started, and how those things happen, right? Because normally they don't. Usually we're kind of locked in on corners, things of that nature. Those are the kind of errors we had when we played AL, right? The lack of communication. So we thought we'd fixed them in training in the previous 2 games. But hats off to Assumption. They played a good game. I believe we're right with them. We just needed some breaks today and we didn't get them.
First time this group had been here.
Yep.
You go down 1-0 like 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe that kind of shell-shocked you guys a little bit, or how tough was it playing from behind?
It really wasn't, just because the nature of the goal. It would have been different if they would have built out, came down, had a shot in the 6, right? But it was a cross that Timmy just misjudged, and we slipped through his hands into the goal. Those things happen, right? So it obviously changed the game, but the way we played it didn't, because it was so early. We kept doing what we wanted to do, or attempt to do what we had been training to do. So, that half ended 1-0. We had opportunities. It was one less pass than we would normally make to get ourselves in position. So I think at the times we're playing a little white knuckled, a little more fast than we normally play.
First time in over a decade, this program was able to get over here. Just talk
Yep.
about how this, for you especially, this team
Yep.
will be remembered here, as well as of course, the seniors that help lead the whole thing in general.
Agreed. Yeah. So it's been 10 years, and when we were walking up, I was having memories of being on that field over there, and who was playing behind us, and who was on the main field, and I wanted to have more memories of being here. But I'll take this one here just because, like I said, those guys, I've had those guys in my palm since they were 6 years old. Cameron, Adam, Court, trying to think who else, Nolan. Those guys have been with me since they're little. Their parents believed in the vision. I told them we were gonna make it here when they were 8 years old, and so for them to stick with it, go through all the trials and tribulations of 21 when we were mid. I think we're 9-7 or 9-8 back then, and just believing that it was going to work out in the end. And for them to end up here is all we can ask for, right? Put ourselves in position to be successful, and today it just didn't happen.
I heard you talking a lot about your connection, getting the offense going, getting the attack going. Just don't feel like you got rid of them.
No, we never did. And
Step behind.
And it really wasn't a step behind, Joel. It was more of, so I'll come back a little bit to being down 1-0. Normally, Court, Adam, Jace would find a second or third pass and then find that penetrative pass. Today, we were making 1-2 and then looking. I think that's that part of being white-knuckled and the whole aura of being on these fields, right? And the magnitude of the game, and not wanting to go down and want to get it back right away. So typically, and it was available. We had the opportunities. It's just guys wanted to go to goal too fast, instead of making their backline shift and making their defense shift. And the opportunities were there to do it. That's what I was talking about. Just, we got to make that one more pass, and then we're in. That's why I told Adam and Court, said, hey, you guys, instead of making 1 or 2 passes, try to find Jace for the third, and then we'll have that penetrative pass, because they were man-marking V up top, which really limits them defensively. But we just never make those runs and find those runs because we weren't making a move enough.
Following your coach.